I got into a dust up one time with Adam Grant, which he and I lived to get in dust up. So this is all great. We like to dance, as he called it. You know Adam Grant?
Yeah,
you know
no.
that name? He's an organizational psychologist at Wharton, but he writes a lot of op-ed pieces, and he wrote Languishing that was really popular in the New York Times. So he's great. He's like a known intellectual. But he was a little bit shitting on people who post their beauty, right? Or get likes and attention for their looks and their beauty. And I was like, so Adam, you are gifted this great intelligence, and what you do with that is you put your work out there for approval and attention. But if you weren't gifted intelligence and you were gifted looks, that person's not allowed to exploit the gift they got. I don't know why one is better than the other. We're all trying to get approval and love and attention with whatever thing we got gifted.
What do you think of that?
Today, I think that's right. I don't think I used to think that, but I do think that all of our assets are given for the most part. We can like work on them, and we can work hard. I mean, I think I work hard for the things that I have, but I also know there's gifts there that I didn't pick.
You have two hardworking parents. You genetically got genes from very driven, hardworking, intellectual
I have genes.
people.
I can write stuff. I can comprehend stuff. Like I lean into those. So I really shouldn't blame someone for leaning in to whatever they have, I think. I think that's how I feel these days.
How do you feel about this vis-a-vis your daughters, though?
I think they have the option to probably get attention in either way. And I would, of course, prefer they get attention for their brains.
Why?
Because I know that they, in order to get that attention, they're going to have to apply themselves to something rigorously for a while. And I think there's great esteem to be gotten from that.
So happiness.
But
for happiness.
Yeah, for internal validation.
Yes, but for the person who, that's not an option. I think there is a problem with like kind of elitism and intellectualism that we're sitting over here going like, well, this is an okay way to get attention and be loved by the world. But the way you are able to do it, that's vapid and vain and self-obsessed. I don't buy that. I think we're all doing the same thing. And I don't think if you're writing things to get noticed and applauded, as I'm doing and we're all doing, that I'm ever in a position to tell someone in a bikini they're not allowed to get attention. I don't think I'm morally in a place to be judgmental of anyone seeking attention and approval.
Do you feel that same way? Well,
it depends on if it works, I guess. Like if someone who posts a picture in their bikini, if posting that really does give them some sort of internal validation, it wouldn't for me. So I can't say that. But if it did, I think that has to be fine.
And if they make a living from that, if they're supporting themselves and they buy a home and raise a family, we're all trying to do the best we can with what we got. And I think it's really easy for us who went and got degrees and shit to think, well, I worked for it. But you had the capacity to work for it. So you were gifted the capacity to work for it. You also, someone modeled that for you.
I do think, though, the problem is most of the physical, like posting pictures and stuff, that is external validation for the most part. I mean, I don't know, maybe someone can comment and say like they get a ton of self-esteem, true self-esteem from doing that. But I don't think I've seen that be the case for anyone.
I think that the person who went to the gym that morning, they ate the thing they wanted to eat so they looked a certain way, and then they spray tanned and then they look in the mirror. I think they have the same feeling as I do when I do 2.5 hours of research on you. And then I come in here and I'm able to weave that all together and I leave. I think the feeling we both have is we put a lot of effort into this and we achieved our goal in this. And I think it's not right for me to discount the things they do.
But it requires somebody else telling them it looks good.
Well, but I'm owning the fact that, no, I want the product of this to be great and I want people to listen to it and love it. I want to be seen and I want to be appreciated for the thing I've invested in. And I think they're doing the same thing. It's not what I would do, but I don't feel right about saying it's a lesser or that I'm above it or that I'm judgmental of it.
I understand what you're saying, but I also understand what you're saying and have sort of had that very argument with my daughter who thinks I'm unfeminist because I'm like, must you post that?
Right.
This makes me feel good.
For how long does it make her
doesn't matter. And I'm saying, can you do it without posting it? Can you get the feeling without the thing about how the male gaze doesn't, it's his problem. If he sees this bikini picture of me and can't take me seriously because I'm in a bikini, can't take me seriously for my whole self because I'm in a bikini, that's his problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get into trouble. I don't think I should get into this area, but
I think this is so interesting.
Yeah, this is incredibly fascinating because I think all three of us have different feelings about it.
But also everyone's dealing with this. Like, this is a common.
I was sort of like, by posting, you are automatically in a conversation. You're automatically inviting someone to look. So you're inviting a gaze just by the fact that you posted. So, but then you want to pretend that that it exists outside of any cultural context whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
and
not
that
in a vacuum.
That it exists in a vacuum and that you are operating purely in a vacuum and the cultural context is over there, but that's not what you meant.
Right.
Yeah, but I will challenge you, and I have it myself. We also didn't grow up where this was standard, that the internet was standard, that Instagram was standard. And so you and I used a whole can of Aquanet every time I leave the house so that I could be the most appealing I could be to any girl.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. Super firm hold. But I put a ton of effort into leaving my house to go look and get validated by the opposite sex. And I think you did too. And I think we all did.
100%.
So
we all did,
I think this division between you leaving the house and wanting to be appreciated by the opposite sex when you went anywhere. And I just think Instagram is anywhere. That's their anywhere. So I think we did the same thing. I don't think there's a difference. But it feels incredibly different for us. But I think it's just life. And we were always trying to be as attractive as we could to everyone else. So I don't know why they would not as well.
I mean, I think it's degrees. I think that it's back to degrees. Everything, it exists on a continuum, just like we just said about ADD and everything else. Like, I think a lot about, I can't remember where she said it, but Zadie Smith was saying how her daughter, this was a few years ago, spends such and such exponentially more time in the mirror before school than her son. And she was like, if you add that time up over the course of many years, he's going to have an advantage. And do you want that?
That's interesting.
But he's also going to spend a lot of time jumping over fires to impress his friend and dealing with injuries. And he's going to do other shit that's a waste of time in the way that males try to get validation from each other.
It's complicated.
I think we just kind of, I think we have to fight the urge to
complicated.
catastrophize all the stuff that's kind of happening. Now, the area that I think I'm more in keeping with you is like the conversation I know I'm going to have with them as they go to college about drinking, which is 100%. It's on the male to not rape the girl. Shouldn't be on the girl to worry about getting raped. But I am going to say, well, here's the data from girls who get raped when they're blacked out drunk. Now, yes, it shouldn't ever be a concern of yours. And we live in a certain reality where your odds of that happening are going to go up 4x. Obviously, you should be entitled to get blackout drunk just as boys are entitled to get blackout drunk. But also, here's the facts. So do with them what you will.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an area where I agree with you. It's like, well, we can't also deny what the statistics of our world tell us.
I agree. I think that's a hard thing to talk about because, yeah, it sounds like we're saying like, oh, the like, what were you wearing thing? And it's really not that. It's not what should be. Like, yes, we should be fixing boys.
You should be able to pass out in the street in a miniskirt and have nothing happen to you. I agree. That's what should happen.
Take you to the hospital.
So that is Frankie's argument.
Well,
That's her Instagram argument. Yeah.
But should and reality are not always, in fact, almost never the same. And it's figuring out where you want to be in that. And like, if you want the risk. I mean, I'm actually a little more like when she says she feels good. It's like, what part feels good? Is it the comments?
My relationship with her at that time, now it's different, but at that time was basically, I'd be like, how did that make you feel? Okay, good talk.
Yeah.
It's basically like fucking slam.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a third rail.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that I think like fame teaches you, right? Which, I mean, she should listen to you for this. Like, it feels good for a minute. And then it really doesn't feel good because you also are hearing all the horrible stuff and then you're so self-conscious. Like, that's the internet is Hollywood,
Yes.
you know? And
Yes.
it's dangerous. It really affects how you feel about yourself.
It's deeply impermanent. You know when you're getting these little spikes of being popular that it's on very shaky footing.
Yeah.
You know it, you know?
And yet
here we are.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
It's so tasty when it's your turn.
It is.
Okay.
Ben Stiller.